Hello, and welcome to the first piece of supplementary content for my new album, VGM Essentials, Ben Briggs. This is an edited version of the listening party that me and my collaborators participated in on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ben Briggs Live. This is me and all of my friends that I worked with on the album discussing the tracks as we listen through them together, many listening to them for the first time and talking about all the things that we loved and, remembering the moments and sort of just discussing any of the interesting details that we are proud of or remember or, are reminiscing, funny moments, things like that. So I hope you enjoy it. The album releases on July 22nd. That is this coming Friday. You can pre-order it right now through Firaga Records. I'm really excited for it. I'm really proud of it, and I hope you enjoy this content as a way to further flesh out the story, the insane story of the process of finishing this record. And special thanks to my editor, 808 Beats, for editing this down and just being an absolute pro and an awesome dude. And here we go. Should we introduce ourselves and maybe just say which track that we did and one really good insult, like one good roast on me? Can we do that?
I could find something. I think I could think of
something. Maybe one or two.
No, you could.
What's up, Nest Dude? Nest Dude has been a recurring character in the story. Been here for basically every stream the whole time. Nest Dude has watched the album get made in real time, more hours than I think anyone else.
Wild.
Yeah. Taladar was there for the secret one that we did with just me and Nick. Hey, Floopy.
Yeah,
Lucas, how you doing? The OG homies are out here. Hey, Charming. Everybody say thank you, Charming. Sorry, Mick. I know.
Lucas, the Nardwar of Nerdcore.
Nerdcore.
If we
great.
Charming even a tenth of what Ben knows about making music, I think we could kind of just get rid of Ben, frankly.
I mean, it's like a meme, but it's not a meme. I'm like, me and Charming joke about him replacing me. Oh yeah, and Charming is literally here. Charming, say hello. You don't have to say hello. But yeah, so Arthur, who the hell are you?
Why me?
Because you're top left.
Okay. Hi, I'm Arthur McFarlane. I make music and I have never played a video game, and they keep bringing me back.
Arthur is also known as Catmosphere, so there are two Arthur collabs on here. Yoshi's Island Catmosphere collab and Super Mario Galaxy Bowser's Galaxy Reactor. And the difference in style is the difference between the two aliases, I would say.
Yeah.
Also, the two songs that have streamers and or gaming content creator voice clips in them.
That's true.
Well, what? Ben, we got a feature from
Oh, true. But that one was like with permission and,
ahead of time.
Yeah.
To be clear, we did get permission for one of them.
Mega Flare, who are you? What have you done here?
No, hey, just a guy making good old '90s electro and house music. What do we do? Jago's theme. That's what we did.
The first track on the album I think we were the first to start. Vector, did we start very, very first? I think we might have.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, so basically
one of the first ones.
Me and RoboRob, me and Vector U, and me and Mega Flare were the first three to get something down. And then Baircave, like, right before I broke my arm, right? We technically did something, sort of.
We did a bunch of stuff before you broke your armish, and it was a couple months after my trip to Florida, though, for sure.
True.
We were done with Galaxy Reactor before you broke your arm.
Yeah, I mean, all of the Mario Galaxy stuff was out before that happened, but yeah. So yeah, anyway, Mega Flare and our sessions were very productive. It was like,
yeah, they were.
We were just both lost in the sauce, and you were just sending me stems, and you were just going off, and then be like, "Does this sound cool?" And I'm like, "This sounds great." It was a very natural progression.
Yeah, it was. I think in the first first session, it was like structure was like at least 2/3 done.
Yep,
like 2/3 done. It's fun. It's a fun track. It came out well. Okay.
And it's Bass B's favorite, so it must be good.
I mean, yeah.
But all right, Baircave and / Nick Newhouse, who are you? What did you do?
I am a guy living in New York, making music. Damn, I don't know. I don't even know where to begin with you. It's funny. We've been friends for a very, very long time at this point, but never bothered to make a song together for no particular reason.
To be clear, I was resistant to collaboration for a long time. I got to do everything myself. And like Rob was the one who was always like, collabs are my favorite thing. Back-to-back DJing is my favorite thing. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then this album, I was like, I literally, part of the conditions of me doing it where I can't get this done by myself. Like I need every track to be a collab or it's not going to get done. And not only do you share that burden, but then it becomes greater than the sum of its parts, which I think is especially true for all of the tracks on this record in particular. But
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, so it's nothing personal, Nick. I do hate you.
No,
but not, that's not why I wasn't collabing with you.
Did anyone deliver a roast to you yet? Or is everyone just opting out of that?
No, yeah, my brain can't think of a roast right now.
Arthur has too many. Arthur's roasted me 20 times already.
Off the top of my head, Ben Briggs didn't have a fashion sense until his ex-girlfriend, and it still could use some work.
He said,
his
I can
ass.
fix him, and didn't.
Hey, I live in Florida. I'm allowed to be Florida chic, all right?
No, you're looking good. You're looking good. I'm proud of your transformation, but I will say, before your ex, you did look.
It was bad. I was ratty. I was ratty.
Yeah, but I love you, buddy. And our track is Hot Top Volcano, which came in many forms before this final one, but it's funky as shit.
We were originally going to do speed trance or something, like hard trance.
Damn.
Yeah, we want to.
Thank you for not.
Hey, it would have been dope. All right.
It would have maybe.
But the song,
that hot new Baircave Ben Briggs Goa track. Can't wait to hear that one.
Yo, Goa fucks. All right. Nokbient, who are you? What did you do?
Hi. Hello, I'm Nokbient, and I make silly, funny sounds on the internet. I'm a funny fellow. I've known Ben since I was 14?
I've known you since you were like 14 or 15 years old. And like, I don't make a habit of hanging out with 14 and 15-year-olds, all right? It was a long time ago. But basically, we all lived in the same city, and we were all Overclocked Remix members. And we had a friend, Ectogemia, who I made KK and Friends with. At the time, is the reason that any of us knew about MagFest, and he like made this crazy effort to get everybody who was in our town who was from OCR together. And Nokbient was one of those people. And he would hang out with us.
I was like, oh my god, other people like video game music too. Hi guys.
And we were
Let
like
me hang out.
we were like in our early 20s, and he was like literally 15. And he would hang out while the sun was up appropriately, and then it would get late, and he'd be like, so what are we doing next, guys? And we're like, you're going home to your parents.
Go home, child.
Like, we're adults.
We want to do adult things. We're going to the bar.
We can't really hang out just like indefinitely. And at the time, your music theory knowledge and stuff was like very limited, and you were just getting into it. And so as someone who's heard your music over that long period of time, I mean, how old are you now?
I'm 26.
Jesus Christ, I feel
That's
old.
my roast. You're old.
Yeah. No. you were at the top of the list of like you're like the poster child for like most improved, like what is possible when you get into a community of collaborators and like take advantage of it. You really just made it happen, and now you're one of the most versatile composers and producers that I know.
Just a bunch of wacky internet folks who like music.
We're just a bunch of little guys,
just a bunch of I'm just a little guy.
But Yeah, no. And
Anyway,
then
we did Hazy Maze Cave from Mario 64, and I think it turned out okay. We started on it, and then I came to visit you, and you invited me to pose, and you like actually like had me do my first DJ set. But like the day before was when you broke your arm, so like I got there, and you're like, something's wrong.
yeah, I didn't
Anyway,
even know it
let's
was
hang up
broken yet.
posters.
I didn't even know it was
Then you're
broken
like-
yet.
And then you were like, nah, something's really wrong. I'm gonna go to the doctor. You know that? I'm like, yeah, let's go.
So
But-
my first doctor visit with health insurance was with you, my dad. But yeah, just to be clear, Hazy Maze Cave is 95% Nokbient's doing.
I thought you were gonna say done. I was like, oh, shit.
Shit, and that's
No, Reach for the
It's
Stars.
almost done. It's out,
It's
but
almost
it's
done.
done.
No, it's-
Reach for the Stars.
I'm a fix wolves.
Don't worry, Rob. I'll get you the pre-master on Monday. We'll have everything to you by Tuesday. Don't worry, Rob. By Wednesday evening, this will be wrapped up. Bolide's working on it hard. On Thursday, we'll have all the pre-masters. to
He
you,
says
Rob.
this. Yeah. By the way, you're spending your roast right now, so make it count. Just get it all out, buddy. We'll get to Rob. We'll get to you. But Rob set a very tight deadline, knowing that I'm a deadline motivated person, and probably expecting that I couldn't hit it. I would assume, but maybe
expected
not.
That and even budgeted that into the original deadline dates for you.
Yeah, and we
you know.
we can tell that we can talk. We can get to it. But point being, first of all, I wanted to make the joke that Reach for the Stars is 95% done. All the other tracks are done. So, but Nokbient, funny story. Like I stopped needing my ADHD medication during this process. Before this process started, after I got back from breaking my arm and getting COVID, I didn't need my medication anymore. And this guy ended up getting the same medication for the first time and was like, I've got this. And he just did the whole song. And then I recorded like the drunk. I wasn't even drunk. I was like sleep deprived drunk. And I thought it was like, wouldn't it be funny if I just did a single take of guitar riffs? And I recorded it on my phone. So we have video of me just like wanting to be dead, just being like, like it's nothing. Yeah, I sent those stems, and then I did one creative direction session where I was like, make this fade in faster, make this fade out slower, add this part here, and it was done. So 95% of that song, 98% of that song was all Nokbient. So if you love that Hazy Maze Cave arrangement, it's like the kids cracked, is what I'm saying.
Please follow me on social media.
Follow social media
anyway.
right now.
Please follow my newsletter
Comment
at my
and
web
subscribe.
zone.
RoboRob, the mastermind behind all of this. Who are you? What have you done? What have you done?
Well, I don't know. I ask myself that question every day. Actually, we've done something pretty dope, man.
Mm-hmm.
I've listened to this album through several times. I mastered it, so I listened to it a lot. And then the finishing touch was getting this album to be a seamless playback, front to back. Man, that was just like the icing on the cake for me.
Me too. But
Everything
Rob,
about this process has been stressful and fun and rewarding and stressful.
Yep. But Rob is the owner and operator of Firaga Records, and Firaga Records provided the resources and the emotional push to make this album happen. He also was the person who knows me well enough to be like, this is due in 8 days, because he knew that I would fucking right then and there get it done. Even if it takes more than 8 days, he knew that it was like, Ben needs a deadline. Ben needs a deadline. And, that was not only the push that I needed to finish the album, but you gave me the push that I needed to start the album, because I didn't want to do it. I was like, I don't care about video game music. It doesn't, it doesn't feed my soul or whatever. And like, that was true when I'm working on video game remixes by myself rather. It's not the same anymore unless I'm really excited about it. And I was, he kind of hit me with the like, dude, come on. Like, I'm your best friend, and I got a record label. Let's do something fun. And I was like, yeah, it does sound pretty fun actually. And I was like, I'll do it on the condition that all the new tracks are collabs because I can't do this by myself. And then because every single track was.
I was just like, yeah, that's what I've been trying to get you to realize. That it's like the cool thing to do for years, sir.
Because you share the burden, and then the creativity and the sort of, especially if you're working with people that you like and you get along with, you end up with something really special, which we are about to hear something very special. Like I can't thank Rob enough for making this happen, and it's just such an honor to be his second choice for the first album on his record label. So good. Thank you so much. No, it is actually an honor. But yeah, I was the runner-up. But again, you know, like I'm a busy motherfucker. So like if somebody doesn't hit me up to do work, I'm like, thank you. Thanks.
And that was the reason why I didn't hit you up for a hot minute. Was just because you're like doing so much. Plus your work with the completionist and managing all that. And Mag West and Tiny Waves, and you're just busy, man. Like, but I'm glad we were able to do this because, yeah, we need those Mario Galaxy tracks on vinyl, dude.
I like that specifically is like because the Mario Galaxy thing was an afterthought. It was just like, oh, we can just throw those on there, and I had the pre-masters, so it's like, wouldn't it be fun if Rob mastered them, but. The fact that like you go through this collab EP and then there's like an intermission and then it's like all you just play through Mario Galaxy, like conceptually everything about this album makes me cry. But let's move forward. We can talk more after the album. Vector U, who are you? What did you do with me?
I am Vector U. I make music and I play drums. I used to listen to OC Remix like all the time as a kid. And then my first remix, I just like submitted it to them and I got rejected. So I was like, fuck that. I'm never submitting them again.
That's how I was too. That's how I was.
He's me for real.
Oh my God.
He's just like me for real.
I'm just like, whatever. I'm just going to make YouTube videos and
then you had a Dark World remix that continues to be in people's recommended to this day.
Yeah, I still don't know why.
Because it's good.
Because it slaps.
It's awesome.
Second remix ever, and I was making it in like the middle of like college in my dorm room.
It's the power of Zelda music, honestly. And our track is such a love letter to fucking EDM and Zelda. It's not even funny. Like I'm so proud of what we did.
Yes. Yeah, so we did Dragon Roost Island, which I've already remixed before technically, but I was like, it's just such a good track. Like, fuck it. Like, we can totally do it differently, you know?
That was the conversation because, like, I think, Arthur, you said that you had somewhat of a connection with Wind Waker. Was that you?
Yeah.
So I was leaning towards that because I think we were talking about doing Zelda or Pokemon or something. And when I got to Vector U, you know, and we were chatting up, it's like, well, you can't go wrong with Zelda. I think at that point, Arthur, you and I had come up with the Yoshi's Island. No, we still hadn't decided until pretty recently, right?
It was very recently, yeah.
We just thought it would be funny to do like a fake out electro swing track. But yeah, I remember being like, I mean, if we're going to do Zelda Wind Waker, we should do Dragon Roost because I've never touched that. And you're like, I don't care. I'll do it twice. Also, Rob has remixed Frog's theme before. A long time ago.
No one's ever going to hear that.
No, nobody go listen to that. Don't do that. And then Charming is also here. I'm sure he doesn't feel like speaking other than in the chat. That's where he live is in text chat, Twitch chat. But Charming is literally took on so much responsibility with Tiny Waves simultaneously to helping me, remember what I need to do on the day-to-day. Like I was doing administrative work in the middle of all this, and that was all thanks to Charming. Like literally, Charming is the GOAT, like definition of goated. So this, just keep in mind, like without Rob, this album wouldn't exist. Without Charming, this album, I wouldn't exist. And without everybody in this call, the songs would not be as good as they are. They would probably all only have one drop and sound like a sad man who wants to die. So now they all sound like a happy man who wants to die, which is great. Only only person who's not here, obviously Ginkgo-san did the artwork. Let me pull that up for stream really quick because it's just so freaking good. Let me properties.
Ben, did you see the CD layout?
I did. It looks amazing. It looks amazing. This is the artwork by Ginkgo-san. This is without any text. This is just the landscape drawing. But the idea was, take all of these. I just sent screenshots of like Mario World, Super Mario 64, Diddy Kong Racing, Zelda, Sonic. Just like take all these, mash them up into a quote unquote world map, but it's like a hyper realistic interpretation of it, right? And so what you have here is a hyper realistic interpretation of a video game world map. It's fucking dope. I can look good. And I could I can't wait to take drugs and stare at it. And by drugs, I mean coffee. Yeah. Really strong coffee.
Strong, delicious coffee.
Can't wait to take tea. The only person who's not here besides Ginkgo-san who did the artwork is Bolide, who did the Reach for the Stars remix, and rest in peace, Bolide. Besso. Well, yeah, I'm talking about the people who did like the first half of the record, but obviously the Super Mario Galaxy collaborators aren't here because I don't know. Those are just remasters. It's like those have already been released, and maybe we should do one with them as well. That would be fun. But specifically, the first half of this album is what is represented in all of in this documentary, whatever we're calling it, feature film. So I wanted to get you guys on here to listen to it for the first time. Bolide didn't die, but he is burned out, and he was burned out before we started the track. I streamed for 16 hours and got a whole pop punk cover mix down, half of a song finished. And then I sent it to Bolide and I was like, do the other half. And he was like, bro, what? What do you mean do this? What do you even want me to do? I'm like, just make it drum and bass. And he's like, okay, I guess. I'm so tired. And like, me and Bolide limped across the finish line, and I wouldn't have it any other way for 3D Sonic. It's very janky, but it's very heartfelt, and I think that is me in a nutshell. Is super janky but very heartfelt. You've all seen now. All of you, I can't hide. You all saw how shittily I produce. I know what I'm doing. I just do it wrong. I do it wrong really well. So. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull up FL Studio here, and I might just, do I have the continuous mix? Let me see. Final album mix, I guess, .flp.
Seems legit.
The thing is that when I listen to it, I can hear little things that I would change or tweak, but it's like, I think there's something magical to just calling it done and sitting with it, because I think that's an important lesson that a lot of producers that struggle to learn, where it's just like, you got to just pinch it off, man. Because, if you think it's at 95%, most people are going to hear 110 every single time. And yeah, I think everything turned out really, really good. And I liked giving Bolide the final act of this whole story. The final plot point of this whole story was, I was listening to Bolide's pre-master, and I was like, okay, well, if we need to do changes, we can do them maybe tomorrow morning or whatever. And I interrupted myself, and I was like, Bolide, how done are you? Like on a scale from 1 to done. And Bolide was like, I'm pretty fucking done, dude. and I called it. I said, the album's done. I like called it right there. He did end up needing to make changes because there was like an error. But ultimately, like, I let the final plot point of the story was an act of mercy. So everything comes back to Undertale. Actually, I gave Bolide permission to die.
Bolide's name was Yellow before he came in. Let's be real.
Yeah, his name was already Yellow, ready to die. Please let me go. Spare me. And I spared him. And also, I used to be a one-trick Mercy main, so it all comes back to support and Undertale. It's pretty cute.
Vector, you've got to bounce.
Oh, bummer. That's okay. We can maybe do one where me and Vector, you just talk about our song, but we can all talk about our song. This is it. This is the record. We did it. We're here. We've, started at the bottom. We the best, whatever. We the best music. DJ Khaled.
Precious Jurley, as they say. precious Jurley.
Jewelry. I got my jewelry on.
Dearly.
I'm afraid of airplanes because they might fly into a tornado. Okay, DJ Khaled. Anyway, I'm assuming we just want to let it play out and then talk about it after the first half is finished.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
All right. I changed my mind. We're gonna react to all of them individually. We'll play the transitions twice.
That transition.
Boom! It's just there.
Good.
There's
so
no
good.
gap.
That song. What have we done? That's for fans of Chrono Trigger, for fans of EDM, and it has the taiko drums that lead into the Mega Flare track. It has the Latin American instruments, but it's also got this like Western vibe, and like it's got the orchestral stuff that really makes it feel like a movie trailer. Like it really fits the artwork. It's like the best first statement to sort of go along with the art. Like, yeah. Like what do you guys think? I'm curious of your opinions of the Frogs theme remix now that you've heard it.
A lot of the playing, like I know me and Rob always joke about that. I was like, who played the guitar on that? What sample is that? We always like joke about that, but I always like am blown away by like the playing that you guys did on this. It's very, very good.
Thanks.
Wait, I thought all the guitar was Ben, or is that just not true?
Yeah, it's
one guitar was Rob, but it's mixed. It was like kind of a scratch take, and then we just used it because it sounded really good.
The face when Rob scratch takes just blow your own, your own cop takes out of the water.
He did he did like the spy-ish sounding electric guitar chords during the breakdown.
Very good.
Okay. Any other thoughts? I'm in love with that song.
Chat, but I love that disco sample.
That's all Rob. And that's
so good.
That's the other fun fact about that track is like the first drop is 100% me being like, I'm gonna do an EDM drop. I can do EDM drops too. And it's just like, of course, it's just like a trombone playing the downbeats. And I sent it to Rob like
you're basically Valentino Khan, so that's fine.
I sent it to Rob and I was like, this is hella cheesy. I'm not sure. And he was like, no, I like it.
I like it. I like it. It's different. No one's done this before ever. Let's do it.
And it's if you notice, the first drop is the melody from the first half of the song. It's like a simplified version of that melody. So that's why it's there. When I first did the track order, I forgot about that track and I was like, oh shit, where are we going to put me and Rob? And I was like, well, probably first, because like me and Rob, like without him, this wouldn't exist. And then like I played the track and I'm like, oh, it's just giving intro. Like it's just asking for it. Please put me first. It was like the perfect serendipitous, just like, because like, of course me and Rob's track should be first. Just spiritually, it should be first because this album is like the final chapter of like this is like the ending of a chapter of me and Rob's friendship. It started with me and him meeting, and this is like, we got through all the bullshit and this is what it sounds like. And it's, I don't know. I love that it's first. I love that it's a tribute to your favorite video game soundtrack or one of your favorites. Like,
yeah, like top 5, which are all top 1, but yeah.
Wouldn't have it any other way. And right when it gets to the end and it breaks down to only my acoustic guitar and your what's the name of it? The instrument. Not a glockenspiel, but the
Celesta.
Celesta, yeah. That's the first moment where I like always tear up while I'm listening to it. And I'm definitely sober. But yeah, okay. So moving on to the next track. This is me and Mega Flare. I'm gonna play the transition one more time because it's fucking hella good. But yeah,
that's so good.
Transition hit me again. I was like,
God, it gets so vibey at the end when JC takes over.
So the transitions always try to hit at least on a beat, like where it sounds like it's the next beat of the previous song.
Yeah,
that track is the first one I think that got done, and I streamed it.
We did it for I think it was for your Patreon. Like we were like,
we cranked it out because I needed some content. Yeah, so Patreon's had that track for a couple of months, actually, a month or two. But God, if it's not just like a love letter to the 90s and your style and my style and both of our influences, like I think maybe the track on the album that is the most personal sort of expression of like the two people involved. I could be wrong, but it's like something about it. It's like because you have such an encyclopedic knowledge of electronica, and I was also listening to electronica when I was a kid, you know, not really knowing anything about it, just listening to 90s shit that you would get on Napster. But like, you know,
the experience.
Yeah, and that is the that album or that remix, that's the version from the album version of it's on a CD that part where it breaks down to the dun 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 and there's like the turntabling. That's not in any of the Killer Instinct games. That's only on the CD. And we actually left out some other stuff from the album from the original. Oh, by the way, it's just so you know, JC, it's a 4-minute and 20-second song originally.
Okay.
Just so you know, that's the only track on the album that's 420, but we had to cut it.
There you go.
We had to cut it for transitions. But now we know. We can always keep that.
You know, that's you always if you're in that ballpark, you have to like add in an extra beat or something like that to be like, okay, we're at 420 exactly.
Yeah, originally the drunk Santana guitar solo that like was sloppy as hell. And then
when it breaks down to just the guitars and the scratching, it whips so hard. It just absolutely fucks.
But yeah, the whole middle section that is everybody's favorite, the only section that gets comments is the section that you just like went off on your own during a stream and just came back with stems and you're like, I think this is done. Does it sound good? I'm like, fuck yeah, it does. And then I think you thought to put the main theme in it because you had already put the main theme in the pianos and I'll just record it on electric guitar because that's what the original does. And got that perfect Santana tone, that fake Santana. But yeah, I had a placeholder guitar solo for a while and I ended up stitching that guitar solo together from other takes and then re-recording the comped version, like playing it.
Yeah.
So what you hear is me playing a cleaner version of something that I didn't originally play. I'm so happy with that song. And again, you know, if the first song is saying, if conceptually the first song is saying, hey, these video games are real. This is a real place in this artwork that you're coming to visit, right? And this is, you know, it uses the orchestral elements that Rob added to make it feel like a movie, make it feel like it's real. You know, this whole album is supposed to feel like a live action adaptation of video game, right? Like this is what it felt like to play these games with kids. And the first track says, hey, this place is real. And then the second track's like, I'm here with you. This is me. And that's how I feel because it's this track from this. I used to listen to this CD when I was a kid. I used to play it really loud. And so this is the one that has the most personal nostalgia for me. And it does sound like me, but it mostly sounds like you. But it's like, we're here with you. You know, the audience is here in this place, but we are here too. Like this is us. So yeah, what is it? Mega Flare, like do you have anything that you want to mention?
Nah, I mean, it turned out really well, and I know we talked about like the process of me like just sending you a bunch of shit and being like, "Is this good?" And like, "Is this will work, right? This will be fine." But yeah, it's definitely just like taking from all those like, you know, old kind of fighting games I played as a kid, and like taking up all those like soundtracks that really like, I don't know, influenced me as an artist.
And great. European developers were taking soundtracks very seriously at that.
Oh yeah.
And they were putting out these crazy soundtrack versions and like, yeah, I mean, we did not waste any opportunity to use an Acid 303 or a fucking 909 hi-hat or a fucking
like, why not?
808 snare. Like it's all in there. And I've been joking, but not joking that I want you to do like a genre snob breakdown of the full album where you just like list every single genre influence as the songs change, because the songs have no continuity with genre. That's the other thing you're gonna do. But yeah, so well, I guess we lost Arthur for a second. So what does everybody else think of that track? Curious.
I mean, it's just fucking dope. It's like classic Mega Flare to me.
Super fun
with a little Ben Briggs topping, you know.
Yeah, it was like the most. I think our sessions, when we go back and cut them into the movie, like our sessions are going to be like maybe the least. I remember the production process being very focused and serious, and then we would just like talk about other shit.
Yeah.
Like we would just talk about fucking politics or just joke around. But like the song itself, I remember being focused on just like getting it done and agreeing with each other's ideas kind of the whole time, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's how it was for everybody, but I'm just saying ours felt more like workaholic in a way, where we were both just get it done.
You got into my process a little bit.
Yeah.
That's usually the vibe.
But very, very cool. Very cool. Very cool. So I'm just waiting on Arthur to stop, I don't know, sacrificing a goat in the background or whatever's going on there.
Yeah, what's going on? They're putting their headphones back on.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Did I keep you waiting?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You did, but it's fine. All right. So I'm going to play the transition between the outro. I'm just playing the outro. It's track number 3. This is me and Vector U.
Your fate.
All right. No spoilers for that one. That one's too crazy. All right. So Vector U's not here. So what's everybody think of that one?
Y'all kind of snapped on that one. I'm not gonna lie, y'all kind of snapped on that one. I love the little Lost Woods transition.
I was watching you.
section.
I was watching you specifically. I was like, Megaflare's gonna love this.
It's insane. And
Thank you.
I love like the kind of the guitar underneath there too is like super nice. It all really kind of blends together really well.
So that guitar. Well, Arthur, what do you think?
I thought it was great.
Good talk.
I love Dragon Roost Island.
It's such a good track.
Such a good song.
It's just fucking clean. It's so clean, honestly.
And this was the only project that we were able to actually pass back and forth for real. And I think that shows there's like a compatibility there that like we were using the same plugins and like having to do stems very much. But that guitar, when the guitar comes in after the Lost Woods, obviously the Lost Woods section is 100% me. All of like the weird like West Coast hip hop, Latin jazz tribute parts are me. That was the original idea. I was like, well, he was like, what if we did like the Fat Rat? That was the original concept. What we did Dragon Roost Island in 4/4, like the Fat Rat glitch hop, melodic chiptune, you know. And I was like, what if the intro was just like Latin jazz, West Coast hip hop? And he's like, that sounds insane. I don't even know what you're. I'm like, no, check this out. And I'm like whipping out the Smoker's Delight disc, you know, like, and yeah, like it. I don't know. If the first track says this place is real here, and then the second track says we are here with you, and then the third track is like this is the first stop on your journey through the artwork. So like this is like the island that this is you're on Dragon Roost Island. You're now in. This is where the concept album begins. Like we're about to like there are this everything is intentionally laid out to feel like you're moving through the video game that you see on the artwork.
Yeah,
and it's also the first song that's just like. This is an EDM track with 2 drops, right? I mean, the other 2 are, but they're not quite EDM, right? They're kind of electronica that's been mixed like EDM.
Yeah.
The third one is like, no, this is the Fat Rat, and when this is like Monster Cat 2014 or some shit, but you get to the second drop and the melody, that was Vector U's idea. Just do the second drop where the melody is completely different. Everything's the same, but we write original melody to make it sound like Fat Rat or whatever. And so you're sending the message of like, hey, video game music fans tend to be like, oh, don't ruin the original. You ruined my childhood. Like, I don't like vocals. And this is that second drop is like, listen, I know it's a little weird. I know it got a little weird, but it's going to get a little weird. Okay. And it's like prepping you for things to stray from the original and maybe open your mind a little bit about what a video game remix can and should be. Yeah. And then the transition into Hot Top Volcano. Beauty. It's timed. There's the seagulls at the end and they're doing a little phrase with the retardando on it, and I timed it to make it sound like it's right on the downbeat of that phrase. So yeah, this next one is where things take a turn. I'm going to play the outro again. This is me and Baircave doing Hot Top Volcano from Diddy Kong Racing, which has been listed as probably my favorite video game of all time. It's also something that he really enjoyed from his childhood. So here we go. That transition, oh man.
You gotta let it ride, my guy.
Nope, we can't. It's it was the content. I'm sorry. We got to
Never heard the transition before.
Crazy, right?
It was really good.
So you're like getting out of Hot Top Volcano where you're inside of a volcano and it opens up into like a cave. Wow.
It is a hot volcano. There's no doubt about it.
It's a little sexy. That's the track that fucks the hardest.
That's all anyone can ask for.
But yeah, what does everybody think? Hot Top Volcano.
It's so good.
Y'all really
Every part
excited.
of it is so funky.
It's
I
like
love
I love the whistle.
that was me.
The
I
whistles
whistled
are
that.
Such a good touch.
It's just the perfect touch.
Which, if I hadn't done that, those licks from the clav would have basically gotten lost. Nick came here and was like, "We need to work on this track. We'll just do it while I'm at your house." And I want to skateboard every single day.
Hey, well, skateboarding was only 2 or 3 hours every day, but we were kind of tired by the end of
We procrastinated,
so.
but we also like did a lot of the formative
Yeah.
idea work that all became real.
That's also when we realized that the song we chose was just actually an uninteresting song altogether.
So eventually we were like, how do we make this cool? And it's also the turning point of the album, right? So it's like you're outside in Dragon Roost Island. It's very familiar territory, fucking Cat Rat style, Monster Cat style, very popular song from a very popular series. It's just like, yeah, you thought this was an EDM album. You're wrong, actually. We're a bunch of fucking musicians and we play fucking instruments. That's a real talk box. That's the sound one of my best friends with a tube in his mouth for me.
Just for me.
Got a tube in your mouth. You're just happy to see me.
So yeah, so you're on Dragon Roost Island. You go into a volcano, which is obviously the mountain with the Death Mountain sort of looking guy in the background there. Sure, and you emerge into a cooler, chiller part of the cave. Right. So we're gonna start. This is me and Nokbient doing Hazy Maze Cave,
Which goes right back into EDM, but is also, I think, sort of a turning point in the album.
Whoa.
How we feeling about that one, Chiefs?
That takes me all the way back. Something about how that is written is exactly the kind of thing I used to listen to all the time.
I was thinking about it recently, and it's because Nokbient broke down the underground theme, the bum 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 bum, using those chromatic elements as the ends of phrases throughout the drop, and the fact that we just like obnoxiously put the Super Mario Brothers underground theme in there with just like trombones. Like
I love how corny, I loved how we embraced the corny cheesiness of this track.
And when I got to play it live, and like that, those are the parts that everybody's like, "Oh shit, it's Mario," and like, and it's
me when I see Mario.
if the Hot Top Volcano track is like subverting your expectations on what can be done here, and like telling basically the Hot Top Volcano track is saying, "Loosen up, nerd, like relax a little bit." This one's like, "Okay, yeah, I know it got a little scary, but it's Mario. Mario's here." And
It's all right.
you can hear how sleep deprived I am in that guitar solo. You can just hear it. Da-na. Ben Briggs plays 3 notes. I got 3 notes in me. If I do a 4th note, I'm gonna fucking crash and burn. Like I gotta do 3.
I cannot expend enough energy to play a 4th note.
And so when the movie comes out, there's going to be a vertical video of me that pops up, and it's going to like supercut the parts where I'm playing that in my take, because it's a 1-take thing. And instead of tuning the guitar, we just slapped Little Altar Boy on it. We're like, yeah, I like it. It's funny.
No,
It's funny. I like it. Yeah. So
we did.
So all those little
you're my
chromatic
favorite kind of musicians.
It's like, yeah, that's just Little Altar Boy doing his best. Yeah, Nokbient did that whole track, and I just helped. Like, thank you so much, dude. You really took a huge. You had a weight off my shoulders for that. I've told all y'all that, like, I'm just saying, for this one, for this album, the next favor that each of you asks of me, there's really no limit to the size or severity of that favor. Like, if you're like, you show up at my house and you're like, I I need to crash on your couch for 3 years, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I mean, I kind of owe you that, you know? Yeah. Any other thoughts on Hazy Maze? Just such a nostalgia trip and such a great bass track.
Mario.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah, it's really great. It's real great.
And it's your first kind of hint of the type of jank that you're gonna hear for the rest of the record.
It's the first little smell.
It's like, oh, Ben's
What's that on the horizon? What's that over there?
what's that? Ben's not doing too good.
The bass that you used to bring in the second bass drop is such a dusty sub, and I love that sound so much.
And
Yeah,
and
that's
layering that little line with the with like bass house instrument was
Yeah.
just like, oh, so good.
Want to look? Does Noel do production sessions on the stream?
No,
You
I
should.
should probably.
No, but like on Ben's stream ever for this album?
You did a little bit. It was more just the
Little
one.
Water.
It was me telling him how to finish the song because he was very done.
Yeah, I won't lie. I was like, I want to be done now.
So much of this album has been vibe checking the homies. Like, are you good? No. All right, let's rap. Let's wrap it up. And that's a really important lesson for producers to learn is like, just wrap it up sometime. Doesn't matter if it's done enough. And again, your 95% sounds like 110, and this album is that way. Catmosphere, a.k.a. Arthur, and I think we determined that Catmosphere is medic.
You said that. I don't think I dignified it with a response.
I like it. I like you being Arthur, and it's like aggressive fucking dubstep, and then like Catmosphere is this jokey, like chiptune-y, happy, bouncy shit.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to hear this one.
And this has
Arthur's put all kinds of stuff out though.
Oh, I know. I'm talking about the 2 tracks on this album that are Arthur
Sure.
and Atmosphere. But the next track is Yoshi's Island Athletic Theme. It's me and Atmosphere, also featuring voice acting. And the person who said the get down, get funky, that was Mega G Wolf. Impromptu in the chat.
Yep. So I would do shit on stream. You get features.
Yeah, and
That's
so
right.
this track features a voice acting idea that was made real by Ness Dude, who is in the chat, and I'll explain who did the voice acting and how we found her afterwards. This is the athletic theme from Yoshi's Island. Also, we're only able to remix this because randomly Nintendo put it on like a disc that they sent out in Nintendo Power. Shoutouts to Play It Loud for being a series
Play
of
It Loud.
CDs.
Yeah, and then Play It Loud.
Or
and
no, this
Super
one was-
Smash Bros.
this
This
one was
was Super
Smash.
Smash Bros. Wii U or
Mhm.
DS, I think.
They put out a selection of Super Smash Bros. Wii U 3DS CD.
Hell yeah.
That's the only reason this Yoshi's Island track is available. So anyway, and
Thanks,
you're
Nintendo.
getting out of the cave and it's opening up into Yoshi's Island. So you're Dragon Roost into a volcano, into a cave, coming out the other side, and you're at Yoshi's Island. There's a lot to talk about with this one. Shout outs to Simple Flips.
Shoutouts to Simple Flips.
Shout outs to Simple Flips.
The Simple Flips arc is concluded, chat. Simple Flips approved, was honored. Yeah, he's relentlessly chill.
Is credited on the album. Now.
You open up the CD
Cool
and
merch.
you open up the CD and the last like liner note is just shout outs to Simple Flips, period.
I love that.
Bass, yeah. What do y'all think of that shit?
That's my favorite track on the album.
Thank you.
So thanks. Thanks to
Arthur-
Arthur for doing it.
Arthur, I continue to be blown away by all of your sound design every time.
Yep.
it's
Like
my favorite part.
You're very good at it.
like that build where there's that sort of like ring modulated like riser thing.
It's
like,
a frequency
what?
shifter.
Yeah,
G-Wolf.
no, it's dope.
Okay, so I forgot to shout out the Ghostbusters theme that I put in there.
makes me feel good.
Yeah, and apparently
I got
Ghostbusters is one of Nick's favorite movies. That was not planned. And yeah, Mega G Wolf did the Get Down and Get Funky, and also that that's my calling. That's my leitmotif that's in the album 3 times. It's originally from the VGR Super Mario Galaxy remix that we did. And then it's also used again in the Besso collab at the end of the album. And I brought it back to make it a whole segment of this track. And the background elements continue playing that lick while the guitar switches over to the Ghostbusters theme. And yeah, Mega G Wolf was just in chat, and we were like, we need like a get down and get funky, you know? And Mega G Wolf was like, BRB, you know? So shout outs to G. Go subscribe and follow on Twitch, and absolute legend for that one. So the banjo is that banjo right there. And that's
real ass banjo.
A real ass banjo. Shout outs to Shark Party for the fucking hookup on the banjo. I wanted to feature it in that track specifically, and we really did get to. It's like sounds like it's the Smash Brothers fucking OST, you know? And then the voice acting is by my friend Hannah, who had basically Nest Dude was like listening to the track and being like, this sounds like hold music. And Nest Dude said the line in chat, like, thank you for calling Yoshi's Island. Your call is very important to us. Please stay on the line. And I was like, my friend Hannah had just randomly sent me a voice acting bit that she did where she was imitating like a cable commercial woman. And she has this uncanny ability to do very professional sounding voice acting for like commercials and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I literally know the perfect person. Very good friend of mine. She's very special to me. So I hit her up like, hey, can you record these lines? And she recorded it with GarageBand on her phone, and they turned out perfect. And so when you hear for Ben Briggs, press 1, for Catmosphere, press 2, that is the actual sound of a touch tone pressing 2 right before that drop. So you hear the Catmosphere part. During the Catmosphere part, Ectogemia had the idea, wouldn't it be funny if you took Baby Mario's Cry and made it an instrument? And I did that. I made a playable instrument out of after Baby Mario's Cry.
It was so horrifying out of context.
Yeah, it's very
it works
weird
in the song though.
Yeah, and it's pretty butchered, but yeah, everything came together, and at the very end, it's like for Ben Briggs, press 1, and you hear the dial tone for 1, and then it's Sonic the Hedgehog, which I guess I just have to accept that that's who I am.
Yeah,
you're
a Sonic guy.
That's on God.
That's not on you. That's on God.
It's not how that works.
It's not how that works.
You
can't just do that.
but it's good. It's good. So like,
so yeah. Any other thoughts, Arthur? Do you want to add anything about Catmosphere tune? I think it turned out beautifully. I think it's the most fun, unhinged, just psychopathic song on the album.
Yeah, we were in several moods making it. I think the first 3 or 4 of our sessions, we got almost nothing done. Just nothing at all. We got in our call and we were like, fuck, what the fuck do we do?
How are we supposed to do electro swing?
How are we supposed to do this? Do you want to put a banjo in? And I want to do, you want Catmosphere. I don't know how the fuck that works. And then we got too high and couldn't do anything. So we had to go back the next day. But yeah, by the end of it, we really knew what we wanted. And that's when everything turned against us.
Yeah, there were a lot of difficulties.
Tribulations.
Well, and that's the thing is finishing all these tracks it was more difficult because I installed Korg M1, which is like an ancient plugin that fucked up my plugin registry.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. On God. That's on Korg. That's on Korg.
It's on Korg. What the fuck is Korg M1?
An ancient emulator of like an old sampler keyboard.
Yeah, it is classic.
Took an hour and a half to install it. I spent $99 on it, patreon.com/Ben Briggs, and it fucked up my plugin registry so bad that there's probably 5 hours of footage of us either dealing with the problems, making fun of them, talking about Korg M1. It was like the surprise bully antagonist in the first act, really.
But it's so good.
It's perfect.
It's just so good.
It's the perfect encapsulation of this album of just like Ben's using FL Studio for some reason. It's Weekend at Bernie's across the finish line, you know? And we did it. Next track is Me and Bolide. The first half of the song is 100% me. And so you hear, for Ben Briggs, press 1, and you hear the dial tone for 1. And then it's literally just me playing guitar, you know, getting back to my pop punk roots.
We spent way longer than I would have making sure that the touch tones were correct.
It was a lot. I had my phone up to the microphone and I was just pressing 2 over and over again.
God.
Did the math and got the tones right.
That'll be a great part in the movie.
It's gonna be yeah. On the YouTube analytics, you just see the viewership cut in half at that part forever.
Well, like you did something where it's just like, I'm sorry, two, 2, 2, 2,
Right.
2.
Oh, right. I
And
was
it like went on forever. Is not a
correct
valid
path.
password.
yeah. I was on my voicemail hitting 2 like 100 times, and then it reads back to you all of the 2s that you put in.
It's like, huh.
So funny. But yeah,
The
so
actual B-side is just the answering machine.
yeah. So, you know, you're on Dragon Roost Island, you go into a volcano, you emerge into a cave, you go outside into Yoshi's Island. Now you can reach for the stars because you're outside. Wow. And then all the tracks after this are in Super Mario Galaxy. Like, we're literally reaching for the stars and going to space. It's fucking lit. So yeah, this is Reach for the Stars from Sonic Colors, which is, I'll talk about it afterwards. But this is me and Bolide.
I feel like I need to clap after that one. Like,
Oh,
that was good.
that's
So
really
that's the end of the on-camera portion of the album. The rest of the tracks are just remastered Mario Galaxy remix. So that's like the end of side A. Well, it's not actually the end of side A. It's but it's spiritually the end of. So yeah, what do you guys think of that one, huh?
Y'all, you channeled it. You channeled it all the ska, all the punk. You just
Yeah.
and then you were like, you know, we'll just do a little drum and bass as a treat, you know, just as a little, little treat.
And the
is
chip tune. Like, honestly, the little
true.
arpeggios in the top end.
Yeah.
Like,
All
Very
Bolide.
Bolide.
it's all very Ben.
No, that's all Bolide though. All the chip tune,
Oh,
all
yeah.
of the drum and literally, I
Really?
only did guitars and vocals
Well, shit.
and drum set. That's all I did.
Guess I gotta go. Bye.
I mean, we
Bloop.
gotta get
Get back here.
But you know, that track was me and Bolide were both really burned out. We die and had to get it done. Of course, I came up with the most ambitious idea ever, which is let's just do a full pop punk cover of this Sonic song with my own vocals and harmonies, and let's flip it into a drum and bass bootleg at the end. That's an actual sound of him unplugging his guitar. Like, it's very and that's the thing is like you know, the continuity of the album is like using the same instruments and the same licks and the same drum fills. Like, so much stuff that you'll see. We decided there's continuity. I don't know, but there's also a lot of diegetic shit where it's like it makes you feel like you're in a space or there's a real place or there's a real instrument or a real person involved. That song is like the purest expression of like where I'm headed with my career. The lyrics in that song are like, I realized I was just singing the truth of my life. Like, do what I want and do it my way. Like, you know, that's literally the story of my career, is being a thorn in everyone's side because I decided they weren't good enough. And by good, I mean, you know, kind and moral and honest, you know, like that.
Yeah.
It's the, and we're probably going to call the documentary Reach for the Stars, like, honest. That was 808's genius idea, but you know, I recorded those harmonies like in the 11th hour. I wrote them from scratch just by like, there's a stream of me like guessing what notes I wanted to do and laying down the tracks as I figured it out. And then melodyning those vocals. And because I didn't have time to get good takes, so every take that you hear is like pretty heavily auto-tuned. And I just took the ones where my confidence and my tone sounded correct. And I just edited the pitch. And, you know, I didn't want to hide that from people, you know, because my main goal is like, I want to inspire people to realize that nothing should be an obstacle to you creating something. For 2 weeks, we proved that. Like, any crazy idea isn't too crazy if you have your friends there to help you get it done and you're determined enough. All comes back to Undertale. But that song, that's the one that like, and so I got to perform that live at the Geek Easy for a crowd of about 20 people. And I sang the vocals like on the mic. Like, I was on a wireless mic in the crowd singing those vocals on top of the song. And it was really fun. And I did good and everybody loved it. And yeah, so I don't know, that track, that is also the one that's the jankiest because me and Bolide, again, we were dead inside and we had to get it done and we didn't want to compromise on it to a certain degree. And you can hear it. If you listen, at least I can hear the jankiness that comes from like, oh God, I just want to be done, please. And it's 3D Sonic, like the glitchiest series in history. So yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. 3D Sonic is nothing but janky. It's janky, but it's earnest. You know, that's 3D Sonic.
Janky, filled with passion and love.
They care about Sonic, even though they're bad at it. And, you know, that's how I felt about finishing that track, is like, we care so much that that's what comes through, is you hear the passion and the inspiration. And again, if somebody hears that and they think that it's cringe, it's not for them. It's for 3D Sonic fans who were raised and fed on cringe. That's all they know. I wouldn't have it any other way. Like it's perfect. It's the perfect cap to the album. It's the perfect theme song for the album in the process of Bull-Eyed. Rest in peace. Couldn't make it today, but
he's sleeping.
I said, hey, can you flip this into drum and bass? And he was like, dude, what the fuck are you talking? How? I'm like, I don't know, please. Like, okay, I guess. And we made it happen. So that's the record. That's it. That's the first half of it. I'm probably, I don't, unless you guys really want to listen to the remasters of Mario Galaxy, all those tracks are already out. It's already midnight. So I really just wanted to get everybody listening to the first half of the album because that's what we documented.
I think it's great. I think it's, you know what? You come a long way. You come a long way, brother.
It's the culmination of, 10 years of starting Tiny Waves with a chip on our shoulder and playing nice with a bunch of assholes for years. And what I said before was this is the end of video game music not being a vibe for DJs, because DJs spend all their time setting the vibe for other people. And like, we deserve to vibe too. And like, this album is what it sounds like when we've built a new community, we've built a new industry around the idea of making sure everyone is taken care of and everybody is friendly and everybody is patient and honest and improving themselves and apologizing when they're wrong. Video game music doesn't mean getting taken advantage of to me anymore. And without Rob and without Charming and without all of you guys, like, without the voice actors, without Twitch chat, without Polycore and fucking Tiny Wave staff, none of this is possible. And if I made this album by myself, it would sound way worse and it would be very short. And I can't imagine anything as beautiful as this, and I imagined it, and I don't remember imagining it. We just made it together. And I think now when people see me on stage and I'm there's somebody like a Mega Flare or any of you guys, like literally any of you guys on stage, and they're behind the decks and I'm on the mic being like, this is one of my favorite people in the world. Now people can really know what that means, and they can they can feel what it sounds like when they listen to this album. And there's no limit to how much this album can be enjoyed, because there's no limit to how much you can appreciate it, because we put so much infinite sort of personality into it. It sounds like us. And that's when I listen to it, it sounds like our friendships. It doesn't sound like, oh, people are going to love this. This is so rad. This is the coolest, most high quality thing. To me, it's like, this sounds like us. People who have been vibing together for so long, never sacrificing that, never compromising on how we treat each other. And like, this is the kind of music that you can make. They say artists need to suffer to make good art. And it's like, no, it's a good source of inspiration. But when you're truly happy and where you're with the people that are there for you and you are making something truly collaborative, you're 3 times better than you are when you're fucking depressed, And it's 1 + 1 = 3 is really what this album is. And yeah, huge thanks. Seriously. Like, I know I only have a few of you here still, but I have listened to this album front to back 10, 12 times now. And I still like do laps around my house and dance with it. And I'm thinking of y'all every single track. I'm like, man, that's us. This is us. We've come so far. And like, this album's just going to do well. Like, I'm not even like worried about it. Like,
yeah,
no one's ever done anything like this. No one's done an accidental concept album with insanely high quality artwork where everything is cohesive. Like, no one's ever done this, but this is up there with Zelda Step and Time's End and Ocarina of Rhyme as one of these. This is going to be one of the best video game remix. This is setting a new standard. What people expect from an EDM remixer. From it's like, no, we're musicians, dude. Like, we're not just DJs. Like, we're the best of the best. We're the people that are crazy enough to still be doing this, and this is how good we've gotten. Yeah, we're rewriting the book. We're closing the chapter on all the pain, and we're opening a new chapter where we all get to play these songs to each other and for each other and with each other in the places where we are considered famous. And I can't wait for those sets. I can't wait to play this on the main stages of we're gonna, like, I'm coming up there to play with you guys soon. Like, and it's all of my dark machinations. It's me and Polycore, you know, like the fact that we've been working to build up to where we're taking over convention raves and we get to play these songs for each other in front of people who know who we are and really love these original songs. Like, there's going to be people in those crowds that have heard these songs and they're going to cry with us, you know, and that's like, this is what it sounds like when me and my friends get together and get stressed out and just try to make each other laugh through it, you know? And that's that's the most beautiful thing I can think of, period. So that's my statement I'm on the record about the record.
Oh yeah.
You guys have anything else you want to add?
I'm just proud of you. Proud of you that, you know, you got it done. And
thanks, brother. I appreciate that.
All the tracks are, they're all really great. They're all like really great and really good reflections of everybody. And I'm excited with what other people think about it, and you know, excited for that, for when it drops.
July.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob. By the way,
July 22nd. Yeah. Our pre-orders. Do we know pre-order date?
I'm doing my best to get pre-orders ready to go by a week from tomorrow, essentially. Nice. So, hopefully we'll have something up for people to click on. But we will at least have like pre-saves available. But yeah, we're doing cassettes, eventually vinyl. We got CDs. CD looks fantastic. Can't wait for everyone to see. I can't wait to see Ginkgo's art on vinyl. That's going to be the real kicker.
I can't wait for the cassette tapes. That's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, that's going to be me for sure. Yeah, I mean, you already did. The collection's growing day by day.
Well, chat, if you want to know when pre-orders are up, just, you know, be in the Discord server, !Discord, join Patreon, !Patreon, or subscribe on Twitch. You get into the Discord server role automatically. There's already 5 tracks available for download, by the way, on patreon.com/Ben Briggs. If you pledge, I think $2 a month, $5 a month, something like that, you have access to download the first 5 songs on the album. So if you want it right now and you just can't wait, it's there for you for just a couple of bucks. And I appreciate the support, especially because I have to pay an editor, 808, to go through over 200 hours of footage and turn it into a movie with. So if you want to help me do that, please pledge on Patreon. I'm going to go broke making this movie.
That's on you, baby.
That's on me.
Yeah.
That is not on God.
Not on God.
It's not on God.
Every time we say it, we hurt JC.
Well, I just like JC's torn about it. That's the funniest part.
I am like, it's right, but like it's not.
Yeah, it's wrong. How much does the CD cost? $20 looks good to me. I like that $20 emote.
It'll probably be all of our CDs usually retail for 15.
And yeah, that'll be through Firaga Records. Shout outs again to Rob for literally budgeting this, making it all possible, making sure that we all got paid something for our time. Really, really cool stuff. The gold standard for a video game record label.
I learned a lot of what to do and a lot of what not to do. And then I said, I'm going to go try and do that by myself. But not by myself. I have a lot of support, a lot of good people, and a lot of amazing friends doing great albums. I'm excited for you. You're the leader, the kickoff leader in the VGM Essentials series.
Well, I'd like to think we did a bang up job.
We did. You've set a pretty high standard for everyone else to follow.
It's going to be kind of hard for the next person to do better than this.
Yeah.
I think that's going to wrap up our little listening party. Twitch chat, I love you. You've always been here. Thank you for being here for the process and helping me with it. I'm free now. I'm free. Like, I don't have to.
Chad.
I don't have to work on music if I don't feel like it, and that's really nice. So you're probably going to see me streaming some gameplay very soon. We're bringing back the Brigade Plays series where you guys get to just backseat game to your little heart's content. Look at your little freaks. It's going to be fun. Basically, I pick a game that I don't care about having spoiled, and they just tell me how to 100% it, you know?
There you go. We're
yeah.
back.
We'll be back to randomizers, and we'll be back. And I'm gonna start having guests on the show, doing collab streams and stuff. Like, this is just the beginning for content. So if you want to know what's going on with me and my new project, which is all vocals and pop punk and singing guitar, keep an eye out. Subscribe on Twitch, subscribe on Patreon, join the Discord server. Really, thank you for. Ultimately, this album is the sound of my friends going out of their way for me when they didn't have to. So remember that when you're listening to it. All right, and that is it. That is the first impressions and sort of memories and recollections from myself and most of my collaborators. Most of them were hearing those tracks for the first time. Obviously, if you want to listen along, then the album comes out on Friday, July 22nd. You can get it through Firaga Records, Firaga Records. Huge thank you to everybody who made this possible. And thank you for listening. As you heard us mention during this episode, we did finish the entire album in 2 weeks. We streamed the whole thing live on Twitch. Those VODs are available on my Patreon, patreon.com/Ben Briggs. And we are going to be editing down the entire process into a documentary about finishing an album so quickly with such a crazy time crunch with the people that I love so very much. So be on the lookout for that, either a feature film documentary or a miniseries or a podcast. We still have to figure that out, but we have all the footage and we are going to be editing it down. Huge shout outs again to Hate08 for making this possible, my editor. Thank you so much. And yeah, VGM Essentials, Ben Briggs, comes out this Friday, July 22nd, and you can pre-order it right now from Firaga Records. Once again, that is Firaga Records. Thank you to RoboRob for making it possible. And thank you to all my collaborators and everybody, all of my friends and staff who supported me through this time. And once again, thank you for listening. And I will see you on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Ben Briggs Live. And yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks for listening. Bye.